things and often memories of your kids as they have come up through the grades.
What's the 4 quarters? Oh, well, I'm shorter than I was last year, but this makes me very nervous. Can you hear me? This is such an exciting evening for our 6th graders. They're eagerly awaiting receiving certificates and commendations for their 7 years of trials and tribulations. Now up to the podium steps, ye gads, a teacher. I admit to agreeing with Bob Dole, who said at a commencement address, I am like a corpse at a funeral. You can't have a commencement without one, and no one expects you to say much. Nevertheless, my name is Woman. I am a teacher. Here is my podium. I'm off. Now, if I see you on the edge of your seats, I'll assume it's because you're trying to muster up the courage to go home. I do think the premier quality of an educated person is good manners. I will try to remember mine by being succinct, with some measure of humor, to keep us alert after this delicious banquet. Thank you to all who worked so very hard on this evening. The faculty and the children are so appreciative. Always hold my breath when I start in the morning, and I do it when I talk too. I have to breathe. My talk to you tonight, children and parents and grandparents, is about the family. The family is the greatest institution in the world. I don't have to tell you that. But the reasons I share with you the importance of family might not be what you expect. If all of us climb high enough in our family tree, we are likely to find something hanging there that is not an apple. Nowadays, as you know, the cheapest way, nowadays, as you know, what happened your 51st day? Thank you, Joan. Nowadays, you know, the cheapest way to have your family tree traced is to run for public office. I think families are important for 3 reasons. The first is wisdom. Families teach all of us at every age that we cannot pay cash for wisdom. It is going to come to us on the installment plan. For parents, the lessons start early. Theories on how to raise children usually end with the birth of their second child. Parents learn that families work best if their children have been properly spaced, preferably about 100 yards apart. And now, for you students, you have shown me another kind of wisdom. The only reason I make an effort to meet your parents and to get to know your parents is to help me forgive you your transgressions. As a parent and a teacher, growing older has taught me the wisdom in the old adage, the apple does not fall far from the tree. Parents, let me explain. What words of wisdom did I try to pass to my children? Too many would be their response. But I was a stickler about time because I had such a difficult task as a teenager and a young adult managing my own. Here are my broken records. Lost time is never found. Time can be wasted but never recycled. The person who kills time hasn't learned the value of life. Time waits for no man, but it stands still for a woman of 35. And as a busy mom, the ever-famous, this makes the eyeballs of my kids roll back at the speed of light even today. Never put off until tomorrow what I can order somebody to do today. 2 weeks ago, my most honorable son, number 4, Matthew, earned his diploma from Marquette University. 1 week ago, he had an interview for a job in Chicago. And altogether now, he was late. Matt's idea of punctuality is the art of guessing how late the other fellow is going to be. When I reflect on this years ago, and Matt pleading with me to honor some promise of play or a ride or a date. When, Mommy? When? In a minute, Matt. Mom, is that one of your minutes or a real minute? From the mouths of babes, so there you have it. Family value number one, wisdom. Parents give it to children, and children you give it right back. Family virtue number two, your family holds values and traditions sacred. Mom and Dad and grandparents can keep your ideals, boys and girls, high enough to inspire you and low enough to encourage you. Your parents want you to not be simply good. They want you to be good for something. So there you are. To me, a family's specialness is sharing wisdom, sharing humor, and sharing values. Your family has much to offer you kids. Don't miss it. We here at Eastside feel as if we are family during school hours. Believe me, kids, conversations with you are never dull. Even beginning in kindergarten. Martha Oyer had this story to tell in the Teacher's Lounge this year. After having a substitute, Martha encountered a little boy in her room. He marched up to her first thing her morning back and announced, "Mrs. Oyer, I just hate those fake teachers that come when you're gone." Does Mrs. Oyer have special feelings about her students? You bet. We all do. Parents, we are closed in a room with your kids all day and no TV. Remember, your child's definition of a torture chamber is a room without TV. In your children, we have invested all our hopes for the future. We feel such a great responsibility to prepare them for life in our society. Each of us knows we are building steps and opening doors that will eventually take them out into life. You students will fulfill our dreams when you are aware of your obligations to your parents, to yourselves, and to your societies. When you conduct yourselves, as I want to say, like decent human beings. All of you have shown your teachers in some way that our love and faith in you is warranted. Oh, I'll do this next part without that. I have in my hand a crucifix and a note that I had framed. I received both of these from your classmate at Campanello. Nick, knowing my family's deep ties to Notre Dame, gave me a special Christmas gift. Is that here tonight? All of you put a great deal of thought into your gifts to us, and we know that. Nick's gift, however, was truly touching, as you will hear, and this is his note. Mrs. Foley. It wasn't sappy, it didn't say dear Mrs. Foley. Mrs. Foley. This cross is very special. It is made from the front doors of the Sacred Heart Church at Notre Dame. My dad repaired the doors and kept the wood he replaced. The wood is as old as the church. All the holes were drilled by different carpenters over the years. I drilled the hole in the center. Love, Nick Campanello. At Christmas, I hang every ornament I have received over the years, and I remember the little hand that has presented it to me. I hang Gavin Jones's Handsome Santa on my door. I nibble your delicious homemade treats, as other teachers do, and drink coffee or hot chocolate with the many mugs I have collected. I love my mug collection. Each apple or garden, flower, or colored picture found on our desk reminds us of the richness of our profession. Many of you have written Christmas wishes to your teachers. You did this years ago. Stephanie Curtis must have been deeply concerned about the amount of fun in Mrs. Hoover's life. She wrote, "Mrs. Hoover, I wish you would have fun at Christmas. I want you to have fun in your future years of teaching. Mrs. Hoover, I wish you to have fun." Chris McGibbon wanted Mrs. Blau to get a teacher's award. Then she could be the most famous teacher in the world. This is the deal. Brandy Fisher wanted Mrs. Enfield to have higher pay so she could buy a new Lamborghini. even give $1 to everyone in your class, and then you'll really be the best teacher. Here's Amanda Howells with Mrs. Moore. Hope and joy, and I hope you get all your grading done during Christmas vacation. Emily Hafner wanted Mrs. McIntyre to come back from the Gulf of Mexico safe. I don't know whether that was the Gulf crisis she was confused about. But Justin Stutzman added to that. He wanted Mr. Peterson to get a week off so he could go to Florida with Mrs. McIntyre and his family. Stephen Medford wished Mr. Peterson a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And then he added, perhaps looking ahead to his own future, I hope you are a good basketball coach. Matt Carter hoped Mrs. Sarver had kids who would be nice, and, I quote, would concentrate to her teaching them about things. Kids, you wrote these wishes when you were much younger, just as you wrote these ideas about being a good citizen. Good citizenship for Billy Van Elk was to recycle anything we found. Pat Simpson does not want us to kill, and this is a quote, someone. I don't know if Pat had anyone in mind. If he wanted us to kill. Tara McClarney wanted us to help people. Kevin Stewart wants us to care for one another. Becky Oswald wanted us to plant lots of trees. I think the student has left, but this is a real mark of good citizenship here. Someone named Micah wanted us to remember to pull over when a funeral passes. Mandy Newton says never hurt others' feelings. Teresa Waymeyer says stealing is very bad. Emily Hafner wants us to cut apart all our plastic rings in our fridge. My personal memories of this class are Ginny Coleman composing and playing a beautiful piano piece for us. Ginny's mother's huge, delicious, homemade cake to me on my birthday. Leslie Bibbo's artistic ways. Chris Kohler's athletic prowess. Nick Borneman's and Annie Longenbaugh striving for excellence. Andy's dad's marvelous science lecture filled with hands-on activities and ending with poetry. Awesome, Dr. Longenbaugh. I will always remember it. The special friendship shared by Stephanie, Michelle, Jenna, and Erica. The quiet courage of Ryan Brown's life. Never once did I ever hear that child complain. He just wanted to be like everyone else. But in his desire to be like everyone, he set a wonderful example for the other children in class. And furthermore, I admired his mother's quiet courage in letting Ryan learn his lessons his own way. Carla Chappie. Where is Carla? So sensitive and caring to all. Carla used lots of Kleenex if we ever read anything sad. Trina, quietly waiting her turn, sharing her love for her pet with us. Emily St. Germain, another pianist, always reading and telling tales about her brother. Emily and Abby Sensenbaugh with their extra reading projects, their imaginations running wild, giggles erupting at any moment. Abby's beautiful outpourings whenever she had extra time to write. Pat Gross, easygoing and well-liked by all his classmates. He and Nick the peacemakers when the boys would squabble. Mike Robinson's interest in science. Scott Curtis changing from an SLOB to a meatneck. It's a wonderful class, and I wish I could mention you all. Girls and boys, all of you will be off on a new adventure next year. You are leaving your childhood behind. Your world at Eastside has become too small and too confining. We let you go with a whisper of love and a confidence that you will do well and make the right choices. What you take with you is the power of education to help you make these choices. The power to choose is the greatest power that you possess. Never think that you are powerless. Your ability to choose one act, one thought, one consequence over another can bring you success and happiness. And always remember what Yogi Berra said. If you don't know where you are going, you will wind up somewhere else. Thank you.
I would first like to sincerely thank the Banquet Committee for all of the hard work they did. I've been involved in the last few years in planning this, and it is really a lot of work, and it's turned out beautifully this year, I think. So we'd like to thank all of you, and maybe that will be my last series. This is the time in the program when we like to feature our outdoor education classes and some of the more interesting things that happen during this time. And to that end, we have some awards that we give out. These are based on some personal observations of mine, some eyewitness accounts of students, and some reports from teachers. So there are several sources of what all went on. Yes, you see they're thinking about some of those. To start off with some results of some competition that we had, this particular one being the egg toss, which was a smashing success. And we had winners this year in 2 divisions. First of all, the junior division winners, if you would come up to get your certificate, we have Mike Robinson and Billy Van Elk. Michael. And by the time the eggs broke, they were a long way apart. If they've not told you about that, you'll have to ask how far apart they begin to throw the eggs. Then we have another division in the egg toss, and this one I've identified as the senior citizens division. Those 2 winners being Mr. McKibben and Mr. Van Allen. Questions that we answered about things in nature and some frisbee golf to go along with it. And we had some winners in that competition too. First of all, we have the one who knew the most answers to the questions. And that award goes to Becky Oswald. Almost all. Then we have the scores. Our next award goes to the highest golf score, which I know isn't always one that's awarded, but when you get a 66 for only 8 holes, you feel Angie Lemon deserves it. Then for the lowest final scores, we had a 3-way tie for the winners in nature golf. At 22, we had Stephanie Obert, Justin Stutzman, and Brant Unger. Then another class involved canoes, going out and learning how to go canoeing. There are many, many stories that could be told here, but the ones chosen for awards, the first one being an excellence in canoeing instruction. Mrs. Agee and I happened to be down at the waterfront, and we heard an outstanding job of helping someone who really didn't know how to hold the paddle and where to put it and what to do with it. So we've given the Excellence in Canoeing Instruction Award to Jordan Wilsey. We feel Jordan will probably become a teacher someday. That's not meant to be an insult. Okay, then we move on to the obstacle course, where for 10 years I have known the names of all of the obstacles until this year. And they were renamed by the instructors. And there were some strange sounding ones coming out of there, but the obstacle that we know as the Wild Woozy, involving two cables that spread farther and farther apart between two trees, and you were to walk the length of the cables facing a partner with your hands facing. You kind of need to picture this because there are a couple of awards related to that. Very difficult to do, by the way, might add. Some of us have tried it when there was no one around. I don't believe we ever made it, did we, Mrs. A.T.? I don't think so. However, we found one student really impressed the instructors, and we have given him the Wild Woozy Wonder Boy Award to Trent Eaton. Then we found things can happen accidentally on the Wild Woozy. You understand, you're leaning forward into your partner, hand to hand, getting farther and farther apart, and once in a while the two slip together. Well, usually you bump shoulders or arms, or you don't bump or whatever, but we had two that kind of went face to face, and of course, you know what everybody thought they were doing. So we have Kissin' Cousins Awards for Brett Holzmeyer and Abby Sensenmeyer. Poor Abby, yes. Brett's great. Okay, also in the obstacle course, we had what was dubbed the electric fence, fence of death, any number of things I heard it called. And in the course of getting everybody in the group over the fence, the instructors were impressed with one in particular, so we have a high hurdler award who literally leaped high over the fence without touching, and I hear some other people did this as well, but this award goes to Trina Hochsteller. In the obstacle course, we were stressing teamwork and helping each other across, and that went well until you were the last one. Congratulations, Trina. Also at the obstacle course, we have what has always before been called the meat grinder, wheel of death this year. Very sturdy looking, gigantic spool, wrap cable around, and you have to get everybody over the top of it. Well, this year, for the first time since we've been going, it broke. And I understand it was when one particular student was going over it. So we have the Meat Grinder Mauler Award for Kevin Stroop. The only one ever strong enough to break the meat grinder. Then I got some reports from an obstacle course that Mrs. Fry ran, and we found that we had someone that was afraid of heights and overcame that to do quite well in that obstacle course, so we have a High Flyer Award for Ben Sutton. tendency is to want to just go on yourself. But we have a Most Willing Helper Award for Sherry Miller. And finally, we could not pass up one of our very strongest students with the Strongman Award to Stephen Medford. Stephen is quite an athlete. I assume he works out, lifts weights, or whatever, but I've seen his strength before. Then we had a collision with a tree. And the tree will never be the same. But I believe Adam Kirkpatrick will. We have for Adam the achy breaky head award. Oh, Adam, just a minute, please. Adam. What we find when we come up with these awards, it would be wonderful if we could come up with one for everybody, but we don't make these up. These are all things that happen, and we frequently find some of the same people doing different things. So while you're up here, Adam, we have another award for Adam that would lead us to believe that when you're trying to escape from the Titanic through this narrow opening, sometimes things slip. So we have a Slipped Britches Award. Then we went to our ecosystem survival game where we all learned what it was like to be a predator. Very few prey other than that predator. We have a unique award, one of these only one of a kind. We have the only camper to land in a plant named after them. This would go to Jenny Rowe, who fell in a rouse bush. Sticky situation. Then one of the comments that I overheard led to really the establishing of an annual award. I think we could give each year from now on, whenever this happens again, when I heard someone say, "I am so tired, even my hair hurts." We've established the Hafner Hurting Hair Award. I'm sure we'll have many recipients. Then back to canoeing. I understand that one person who was in charge of steering a particular canoe was supposed to go one way, and instead they went another, and they went right into and under the branches of a tree, where the tree then became entangled in the hair so badly that the branch had to be broken off, and then I'm not sure how they got out of the hair. We'll look when she comes up and sees if it's still there. We have the Wiggling Twig Snagger. I knew I wouldn't do it. Wiggling Twig Snagger Award to Teresa Waymeyer. Then there'll be a mother pleased to hear of this award. We have the most unique use of a microwave. The girls stayed in a new lodge this year that had a little kitchenette. There was a microwave there. Although I'm not sure it was intended to be a mirror in the morning, but we have the most unique use of a microwave to Kate Mitchell. Okay, Kate. I have another little story to tell. Several of us slept in sleeping bags on the floor, and I had someone sleeping sort of out the other end of where I was, down at the end where my feet were. And there was, in the beginning, there was a walkway between there. Somewhere real early in the morning before daylight, I was sort of half awake and half dreaming that I must have been walking on the trail because I could feel it on the bottom of my feet. Boom, boom, thump, thump. And then finally realized, wait a minute, I'm supposed to be asleep in the sleeping bag and something is still thumping on the bottom of my feet, waking me up. And that camper had slid the sleeping bag down and must have been walking on the trails there. So, giving you an award for the newest alarm clock invention. This next award I would not have come up with. Now, I want you to understand, I would never call a student this. They did that themselves when they were, as I understand it at least, they were looking at a rather peculiar looking fish in an aquarium. I said, hey, that looks just like me. So we have the Fish Face Lookalike Award for Brett Holzmeyer. We have a Discriminating Shopper Award. I found someone at camp now, at a camp where you have things like trading posts and camp stores. Someone kept asking to go to the gift shop. When do we get to go to the gift shop? I always called it the gift shop. So the Discriminating Shopper Award is for Mr. Justin Stutzman. Justin. What did you do now? There was a night hike. Do you remember that night hike? Yeah. And going across the marsh, and they decided there was a skunk nearby. Of course, being at night, they were all afraid of this huge skunk. And they all got behind Justin. Not sure why, but we've given you then the Great Protector Award for protecting your group. Scariest report to a teacher. I've had students report all kinds of things to me when we're at camp. You'd be surprised what they report. But this one about had me in the beginning, left me waiting. One came rushing up wide-eyed and said, "We are the first campers to ever see a black bear in Wobbler in camp." Black bear, and here I have all of these kids out there in the woods, and there's a black bear out there. Well, then he went on to say it a little better and a little plainer, and it was a Blackburnian warbler after I got that straightened out. So the strangest, back after. Scariest report to a teacher goes to Adam Dixon. Blackburnian warbler. Black bear in Wobbler. That's what he said. We thought it would have been named Pat or something like that. That goes to Michelle Rump. We won't ask her to explain it. Then we have a a dual award, kind of a junior-senior division again, for a disastrously disoriented camper. First in the junior division, we had a camper at Camp Amigo who thought she was at Camp Everhart, as she told the instructor at Camp Amigo. So the disastrously disoriented camper award junior division is to Emily St. Germain. Good. Our senior division winner didn't stay with us this year all night, and we thought she went home. That's where she said she was going. But the next day, she said, why, it wasn't been raining in Kalamazoo, where I just came from. She wasn't near Kalamazoo, folks. So, disastrously disoriented camper award to Kathy Van Nell. We hope you haven't wound up in Kalamazoo again.
Carla also receives the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Kelly Citadine. Kelly receives in addition, the Art Achievement Award and also the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Angela Clark. Patrick Gross. Emily Hafner. Emily, in addition, received the Art Achievement Certificate and the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Amy Hamlin. Gavin receives the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Adam Kirkpatrick. Chris Kohler, or Christopher Kohler. That sounds very dignified, Chris. Reminds me of an event a long time ago. Chris also receives the Perfect Attendance Award. Jason Kordecki was received tonight, and Kate happens to be one of them. Kate was the winner of our 6th grade spelling bee. And as a result, we have a special certificate and a little memento that goes along with that, plus the fact that she also received the Art Achievement Award as well. Mandy Newton. I'm sorry, I misquoted that. Kate was, I believe, our runner-up. Is that right, Kate? Excuse me. Kate was runner-up. We have a winner coming in just a little bit. Mandy Newton. Here she comes. Stephanie Holder. Chad O'Brien. Chad receives the Art Achievement Award also. Rebecca Oswald. Rebecca has a Perfect Attendance Award. Matt Parker. Amanda Pauls. Amanda receives the Perfect Attendance Award and the Art Achievement Award. Adam Richards. Adam also receives the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Oh yes, Adam also who won the geography bee. We don't get anything for that, but we want you to know that he was our top geography. Michael receives the Presidential Academic Fitness Award, and also perfect attendance, and also art achievement. Very few that had all four of those. Jenny Robb. Michelle Russell. Erica Sanderson. Nathan Sapin. Sean Schwab. Katie Seifert. Abby Sensenthal. Matt Simpson. Patrick Simpson. Mark Swarkin. Mark also receives the Art Achievement Award. Eric Schneider. Emily St. Germain. Kevin Stroop. Justin Stutzman. Also, Justin receives a perfect attendance award. Ben Sutton. Brant Funker. Grant receives the Art Achievement Award and also the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. William Van Elk. That sounds so elegant. Billy? We have Art Achievement Award and the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Shane Watts. Teresa Waymeyer. Here's the gal that I was looking for. She is our spelling bee champion for 1994. Rachel Willett. And Rachel also receives a perfect attendance award. Jordan Wilsey. Jordan receives a perfect attendance. And Christina Yoder, our last student. She was there. Okay. One thing I need to mention here, because some of you are going to find this out anyhow, so I better explain. We had a real dilemma this year because I mentioned earlier, they have tightened up the criteria for students who receive the Presidential Academic Fitness Award. Each site is a very unique school, a lot of unique students, because we have more students that meet the criteria than what they will allow us to have certificates. And I wonder what in the world am I going to do in order to have enough certificates. Students, some of you have one with a gold seal on it, some of you have one with a blue seal on it. They are both Presidential Academic Fitness Awards. They both mean the same thing. One says 1994 on, the other one has type 1994. I luckily had some left over from last year. I hope you don't think that that's any less important, because it is not. One thing I forgot to do, those students, was I didn't sign my name along with Bill Clinton. And
We don't blame
I feel important too. If you would either bring that to me tonight or bring it to me tomorrow, I will put my name on that as well. We do have one more set of awards that we want to give, and this set of awards, a group of awards, come from the Student Support Committee. And the Student Support Committee is chaired by Mrs. Diane Jones and Mrs. Pam Weaver, along with any number of other teachers who serve in that. Mrs. Weaver has been the driving force behind a very special student mentoring program that we have, and it's called SAFE. SAFE stands for Students Are Friends at East. And we have some awards that we want to give to these students, and so if these students would come forward at this time, I'm going to list them all, and then you can all start coming as soon as I call your name. Mark Allwine, Emily St. Germain. If you guys will just stay in a line here, we'll just present them here shortly. Angie Lemon, Carla Chaffee, Ann Longenbaugh, Abby Sensabaugh, Justin Stutzman, and Jamie Meekan. Now, if you will come on over, we'll give you these, and then we have two other awards that we want to give. I should say one each to two of these students as well. So if you come on over here, we'll present these. These students we want to recognize for the fact that they have done some outstanding things and have really been, I guess you could say they've gone over and above. They've been very special friends to some students. Can you picture 6th grade students working with some kindergartners? It's the neatest thing to watch and see because of the potential and the possibilities. I am sure that there are some kindergarten kids that are going to remember these boys and girls because of the friends that they made and just the importance of having someone who cares. Let's give them a real round of applause. And now we do want to give special recognition to two of these students, Jamie Decav and Justin Stutzman. We have a special recognition for you, and Mrs. Sarver will make that presentation. One thing that I forgot to mention that I think Lee's group told me to mention had to do with, there are pictures out of the hall of your kids that probably you might have even sent if you would like to take a look at those. And also I believe the class pictures are in the Boy Scout gallery out here down the hall, so you might want to take a look at those as well. Our final performance tonight includes and involves every...
Close your eyes and try
stay there just for a couple more minutes and then we'll be done. Parents, we do want to recognize you also and thank you for sharing your